What is going on, all you beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome to the Battlefields of Total War Warhammer 2, where we've got some crouching ranger, hang on, wait. Hidden Rangers, crouching Dawi, hidden ranger, I don't know, whatever. Make your take on it. Anyway, that's right, we're going to be looking at the Dawi, and let's zoom out and take a look at the overall battle map, which is going to be Marbad's Tomb, and we've got the Empire led by Karl facing off against a Runelord and his Runesmith. So here's Karl. His army's going to have the Hammer of Witches back here. You can see in the background he's got some swordsmen and spearmen, and then somewhat equivalent flank over here. There's a Hellstorm rocket battery out here on this flank, and then there's another cannon. The other flank had the Hammer of Witches up in front of it. So 2 cannons, 1 rocket battery. There are some Empire Knights back here, Jade Wizard, great swords hidden in the woods. They're obviously wanting the dwarves to have to march forward through all kinds of missile fire. There's a Demigryph Knight on that flank, and there's another Empire Knight hidden here. Let's go look at the dwarf army spread all across the battlefield. There's some warriors and some more and some Bugman's Rangers hidden in the woods on the dwarf right flank. As you can see, there was 1 ranger each hidden behind enemy lines back there. So good play against artillery, potentially. Sneaky units that the dwarves can use. There's going to be 3 miners with blasting charges up the center. There's a Thunderer and a Ranger behind them, as well as the Dragonback Slayers. There's a single cannon. Here's the Runesmith, the Runelord, a Longbeard with great weapon, a little bit of armor piercing work, another Dwarf Warrior, and Bugman's Ranger on this flank, Flame Cannon, and Ulthar's Raiders. So very diversified dwarf army, and just look at the deployments here. The dwarf has units in the back, and then a very wide deployment by the Dawi here. And you can see the Empire, very few units, all meant to help take down dwarves. A little bit cheaper on this flank with the Sigmar's Sons and the Swordsmen, but there are the great swords. These Demigryph Knights here can potentially do a lot of damage to dwarves on the charge. And then Karl pretty good at taking out enemy lords. He's on a Pegasus to give him some mobility. So let's get back down here, hit play. You all now have a feel for how the battle could potentially play out in terms of the geography, lay of the land. Look at these Rangers already digging into the Great Cannon. And the Rangers over here hitting the Hammer of Witches. The Empire player slow to react as his artillery comes under fire. Now these dwarf units do not fire while hidden. That would be really cool if Rangers did have that ability to fire while hidden. I kind of think that would be a neat addition for them, as long as they didn't change the price. It'd be an interesting way to give the dwarves some more power without making them well, I don't know if it'd make them super cheesy. I guess it could. These Empire Knights back here, though, going to get those Rangers before they can take out the Great Cannon. But the Hammer of Witches right now is eating it, and the nearest support is a long ways away. The Hellstorm Rocket Battery, on the other hand, is delivering a pretty good throttling to the dwarves. It is a good pick against the dwarves. It's armor piercing, it's good against infantry. So, not a bad pick, and it's doing some good damage. It's a little bit inaccurate, but it has long range, and when it does hit, it causes some pretty significant damage. See the cannon here losing out to all the combined artillery fire of the Empire. And it had been laying down some shots the cannon had on this other flank over here. Got some decent hits. Had 27 kills on it. Dwarf cannons are really good. The Empire cannons are just a bit cheaper, and I think it becomes easier for the Empire to field a lot of artillery, even though the dwarves themselves have good artillery. Now the flame cannon, I like the deployment here. It's behind a hill. This is going to make it impossible for the Empire artillery to hit from the outset. And it's going to be moved along the flank with the protection of some infantry. So the flame cannon, not just thrown out front to be shot up. And the Rangers on the flanks were finally taking out. These Empire Knights are actually going in for seconds, it looks like, potentially against that range. No, they're not. They beat it, and the Ranger, I think, it's not hidden back here, but the Empire not pursuing. So the artillery duel continues. The Hammer of Witches crew came back from routing. Though there are some Bugman's Rangers and Dwarf Warriors approaching from this flank, they're probably about to get spotted. Or they already have been spotted. This one's still hidden because the Bugman's Rangers have stock, I believe. I'm trying to remember the different abilities have, like what that ale. Liquid fortification replenishes hit points of combatant. That is cool. I forget about that with Bugman's Rangers. Karl Franz is going to get into him. Start trying to cause some damage. That cavalry is going to know they're out here. Rocket barrage continues. And it is pretty significant. Those Rangers are taking a beating. That rocket battery doesn't have a ton of kills. Look at that. The cavalry didn't finish, so there's Rangers behind both flanks. See, these Rangers came back as well. They're going to move up and try and finish off the Hammer of Witches. Look at these cavalry about to get a charge into the Thunderers. See if the dwarves... Oh, they do have an answer. The Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Really cutting the speed of those Empire Knights. A little bit of terrain blocking the Thunderers here, but when they do... Yeah, there you go. That speed reduction. Flame Cannon gets a quick hit. They finally get their speed back, and they're going to charge in. But I don't imagine those Empire Knights are going to be feeling good after that kind of a beating. And look over here, the Master Rune. Used for the same purpose. Pins down these Empire Knights, doing a lot of damage, and then Ulthar's Raiders is right behind them. Let's see if they use their Marked by Ulthar, because that could also slow them down further. There's a Dragonback Slayer, which can poison. And over here, Demigryph Knights got engaged by the Longbeards with great weapons. That's not a slog-out fight that they'll really want to be involved in. And up in the woods, they're not going to like that. Look at that, the Flame Cannon. Able to get in here and finish off the Great Cannon and the Hellstorm Rocket Battery with the help of those regrouped Rangers. The Empire's moving some infantry on the flanks. Franz is doing a little bit of attacking here, but he's choosing weird targets, in my opinion. The Miners with blasting charges not near the target that the Thunderers should be here. Franz is going to be a bit wasted on said target. Those Empire Knights get wiped out. Alright, he's back in the air. See if the Thunderers are going to take a shot at him. Ooh, Flame Cannon landed a shot right in its own Miners. Kind of sucks for the dwarves there. A little bit of fratricide. Here comes the Empire Knights looking for a charge. They're just going to end up getting hit by Dragon Slayer's Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Again, going to slow them down. It's a nice way to control the cavalry. What a hit from the Flame Cannon into high-value targets here. The Empire blobbing their great swords with the Flame Cannon nearby. Look at the XP on that Flame Cannon. Like, every volley that lands is just filling up the meter. It grabbed a chevron already. Woo! This was 1,800 gold worth of units here for the Empire, and it just gets deleted by the Flame Cannon. You're not going to see like hundreds of kills, but that Flame Cannon just took 1,800 gold worth of infantry right off the battlefield because the Empire player blobbed it. Blasting charges. Sigmar's sons are fighting over here. Ulthar's Raiders still very healthy, and these Bugman's Rangers safe out on the flanks, cleaned up the artillery. Wow. Empire just got mopped up on that one. Mopped up. Oops, in replay. Wow. That was fun. That was fun in the sense that the Dawi army, I mean, look at all the different unit types. So blasting charges, warriors, longbeards, great weapons. So that's 3 different unit types. 4 because of Dragonback Slayer. 5 with Rangers. 6 for Thunderers. 7 for Bugman's Rangers. Ulthar's Raiders, 8, 9, and 10. 10 different unit types, not counting the 2 Lords, which I guess you go, it's 12. So the variety of the Dwarf army, very cool there. And I really like how the Rune of Wrath and Ruin was used to control the cavalry. It's not going to do the most damage to them from just like a direct damage standpoint, but that speed, it's killer for cavalry. They need that speed. It helps them do more charge damage. It helps them get away and take that speed away. It's a big problem. So the Empire, thinking they were going to be cute here, bring the extra artillery and pound the Dawi from range and then mop them up with all the cavalry and stuff, when instead, when the dwarves closed, they just became more powerful because of all the skirmishers that came to bear. the Ulthar's Raiders waiting, and then the Flame Cannon right here, knocking out both great swords before they could do any damage. And then Franz got KO'd here. I missed it somehow, but he got absolutely wrecked. And that may have been the Ulthar's Raiders too. It's hard to say, but that very well could have been the Ulthar's Raiders because they're a unit capable pulling that off with like a marked by Ulthar getting a couple of good volleys on them, and that might explain why they don't have a lot of kills. But yeah, beat down there from the dwarves on the Empire. Hope you all enjoyed that one. If you needed some Dawi action, some repayment of grudges, then there you got it. So again, love the variation on the dwarf army there, not just your typical what do you call it, new box formation Dawi deployment. That was fun. Hope you all enjoyed it. Appreciate that being submitted. Appreciate both players giving us a fun battle. If you want to see more, you all know what to do. Make sure to subscribe and click YouTube's goofy bell. And if you like the video, hit the like button. It'll help other people find this. If you didn't like it, put me in the book of grudges. Let it be known. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Hope to see you all soon.